Live from the Stolendroids Google Hangouts, it's Zohner and Collin!
All right, we are back. Welcome to another episode of Stolendroids podcast. I'm Zohner.
And I'm Collin.
And this show is already off to a fantastic start.
Oh my gosh, we're on take 3 because my brain physically melted within 5 minutes. It was horrifying.
I think a little bit of it dripped onto your shirt there, my friend.
I mean, probably. It's all over. It was that or it's my ice cream cone I devoured right before this.
Yeah, ice cream is always good. I had my pre-show ice cream about 4 hours ago.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You're running off fumes then.
I am running off fumes.
Need some more of that Dairy Gold.
No, not Dairy Gold. Down here it's... Oh, what is the good Bell? I can't even remember, but it's delicious.
Were you trying to say Bell's palsy? Because we just talked about
no
my Bell's palsy.
No, what's the delicious...
You talking about that place you took me when I was down there?
No, that's Brahms. That place is delicious. But no, there's a Texas ice cream, and I can't think of what it is. Bluebell.
Yeah.
Not Bell's
I've never
palsy.
Had it.
Not
I'm
Bell's
sure it's
palsy
great.
ice cream. That would taste...
Has some weird side effects. That's weird.
It does. But no, there's
cold it just makes your face freeze.
No, Bluebell Creameries has a chocolate peanut butter cookie dough ice cream. And it is one of the most amazing things ever. I buy like a package of it. It seems like every week I buy it. I buy a container of it. And my children are not allowed to have any. It's just mine. I don't share. I'm a dick.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a complete a-hole when it comes to sharing that ice cream because
I'm kind of the same way about gummy bears.
Are you really?
I just love gummy bears. And sometimes people will try to take my gummy bears and I'm like, listen, I don't want to share this. And if I do hand it to them, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I don't want you to eat my gummy bears. This is my snack. It's my pride and joy. I don't know why.
And see, I like gummy bears, but I'm not like gonna stab somebody in the eye over them taking my gummy bears.
I mean, if you get me in the right mood, I might stab someone because of my gummy bears.
Really? That's good to know. I'm gonna see if I can get people to put themselves in situations which may result in you feeling stabby.
Feeling stabby.
Oh my gosh. Of course, it's not going to be me that would get stabbed because I'm above that. I would, hey, go get me some of Collin's gummy bears, Tom, and see what happens.
Oh my gosh. I'll toss him down the stairs.
Yeah.
The fight's on, Tom. Back off.
We'll see what happens. That would be fun. So last week we had a special guest. We had Jake on. Speaking of special guests, we had Tom on a couple weeks ago. If you haven't heard any of our Tom episodes, you should go back and listen to them, especially if you enjoy The Bachelor or Long Walks on the Beach. Yeah, that's a good episode for you to check out because Tom's right up your alley.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, we love Tom. Tom is great. But last week we had Jake on, and we talked about Jake from Movies That Make Us. I should specify that because, just some random dude named Jake. That means nothing to anybody. We just pulled some hobo off the street named Jake. But no, we had Jake from Movies That Make Us on, and he joined us as we were discussing some of the stuff coming out of D23 Expo. And unfortunately, we only got the first couple of days of D23 Expo covered on the show. There was a lot that came out after we recorded the show that we didn't get to And so nothing is as fun as covering week old news. So here we are. But there is a couple things, well, one thing specifically that I did want to talk about, and that's the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker footage that came out. Now, when they did that panel, my first thought as I'm seeing the description of this is, wow, they just showed a really spoilerific sizzle reel. And then the next day, they actually released the footage, which seems more like a trailer than what a lot of people were leading me to believe based on the description. But there's some pretty cool stuff in that trailer. We start off seeing the binary suns over Tatooine and Luke Skywalker, and it goes kind of through the entire Skywalker saga up to this point, including the prequels.
And I love how they take us through the true order of watching it too. You know, going through and watching the original trilogy and then getting into the prequels. I thought that was pretty cool. Instead of just aging it into kind of that new order.
Yeah, I noticed that, but it didn't register to me that was what they had done. But yeah, that's true. That's a good point there. But that was a fantastic moment for me for a couple of reasons. First of all, it shows that they're not throwing away all of the old things. Like Rian Johnson gave the impression that he wanted to do so badly with The Last Jedi. And second of all, we got to see a lot of footage of Princess Leia. And still to this day, I've said it before on this show, I couldn't give two craps when most celebrities die. I don't know these people. It's unfortunate, you know, there's people who are impacted. It's sad, but personally for me, I'm not impacted by it. But when Carrie Fisher passed away, that actually hit me really surprisingly hard. And to this day, when I see her on the screen and I see her as Leia there smiling, it still pulls at my heartstrings. It's tough. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of tears shed in this movie by a lot of people.
Oh, for sure.
It's going to be amazing, I think. But surprisingly, that's not the thing that everybody's talking about. We get to see a lot of Princess Leia, but everybody's talking about Rey and wondering what's up with Rey, because apparently Rey has a bad girl deep inside of her, maybe?
Yeah, all of a sudden decides to pull off a very Sith look and comes out with a crazy looking double-sided or double-bladed lightsaber. Like, what the crap?
Yeah, that was a little bit surprising to me. And not so much surprising that they would have Rey turn dark or whatever, but surprising that they would show that in a trailer.
Oh, yeah. I almost kind of don't even want that there so I can be in the theater and experience that and have that shock and awe, or maybe not even awe, just shock.
That's exactly how I feel. Could you imagine how people would poop their pants?
Oh, yeah. But now you know that something's going to happen. And I think this goes into my theory from that one episode we did with Movies That Make Us. The what did we title that? The Shocker.
Yes.
So if you haven't watched it, go check that out. But I think this is the clone that I was talking about.
Do you think it's a Rey clone?
I don't think it's a Rey clone. I think it's a clone of maybe Emperor Palpatine himself. You know, DNA altered.
Yeah, he's kind of hot.
I mean, a little bit. I don't know that the dark side of her is that hot. It's all right.
Compared to what Palpatine was when he got tossed down the shaft. Oh yeah,
it's like a makeover.
That's hot, man. That's hot.
But no, like I feel like we could be dealing with some kind of clone here still.
And see, I wondered that myself. I wondered if this is a clone. There's a lot of speculation. Oh well, this is just a vision.
Or is Kylo Ren all of a sudden gonna come face to face with something and he's gonna realize, oh, shoot, Rey, who's supposed to be the savior of the Jedi, right? All of a sudden turns evil because of something I'm assuming with Palpatine. And then he realizes, wait, no, have I done this all wrong? And maybe Hayden Christensen comes back and he's like, hey, yo, back off. You should be on the light side, not right here.
That makes me wonder, too, that you mentioned Hayden Christensen, because we hear Vader's breathing.
Uh-huh.
Are we going to see Vader in this movie?
Yeah, we hear the breathing. We see a lot of callbacks from big characters that I'm assuming we're probably going to see as Space Ghosts. Space Ghosts. Space Ghosts, coast to coast.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if they're going to be from coast to coast or if they're just going to be there.
But no, I think we are going to see that side and level of the Force. I mean, Darth Maul has survived, 20 million times by death?
Something like that.
So maybe some of these guys are even still alive.
I'm very interested now to see how they're going to do this. I mean, you know me, I'm a Star Wars nerd. So are you.
Yeah.
We're both huge Star Wars nerds. And there was nothing that was going to keep me away from this movie on opening night.
Oh, no.
But now with this, I'm wondering how I can get very first screening tickets on opening day and be in the theater at like 9 a.m.
I can get you into a pre-screening that's happening in Texas.
Can you?
I can. I'll talk to you about it later.
Beauty. Because I've been told that I'm on a list, but I have yet to see any lists.
I mean, that's fine. It'll still be a couple days before it airs.
But I'm very excited for this movie. I don't even know what to think at this point, though. But I'm right there with you. I would have rather not seen this at all with Rey. I don't want these kinds of things to be revealed. And
yeah, I really wanted this one to just be shots of, upcoming things. I didn't want it to be this whole controversy of where she going right now. Like, I would have been perfectly fine if they ended the trailer right after you hear the breathing.
Yeah, we didn't need to see Rey. We didn't need to see the awesome Swiss Army lightsaber.
Swiss Army saber.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is.
That it really is. Watch out for the toothpick. But I hate how studios do this. And I know that Disney would not have shown this if it was going to completely destroy everybody and their viewing experience.
Well, and that's why I kind of think it might be just a dream sequence. Like I kind of think it might be like that scene in
the cave.
In Empire Strikes, yeah, in the cave where Luke goes in and finds Vader and is battling Vader and these like insecurities he has, but yeah, I think maybe it's something like that where it's not necessarily real. Maybe she's battling herself and that self-doubt, because the last we saw, I mean, she went into that tunnel and she got pulled right into the dark side, right?
Yeah.
And then comes out and she's like, wait, what? But she doesn't really find anything in that moment.
This is going to be interesting. But I really just want surprises. So if this was a major plot point or something, I'm going to be pissed that it was revealed. I'm going to be pissed because I want to be sitting in that theater and be knocked out of my socks
totally
from this. And I do not want...
I mean, we've got 4 hours to cover, right?
That's the rumor. I don't think we've seen a confirmed runtime yet, but...
Nothing confirmed. And I really hope that we don't have people who are just like, oh, hey, oh my gosh, I can't sit through this. I need an intermission.
They're
going to have an intermission. gonna be lame too.
They better not have an intermission.
Oh, they're going to, and they're gonna hang you at the most horrifying part ever.
They better not. They better not. I will go and I don't normally buy theater candy. I will buy like the worst tasting, like the most horrible theater candy and throw it at the screen if they do an intermission.
Oh my gosh.
I won't buy Junior Mints and throw those at the screen because Junior Mints are delicious.
I'm so glad that you've decided this.
I need to make that clear.
You know what I really love?
What's
It's
that?
off topic. But I really love putting Bunch of Crunch in my popcorn.
Do you really?
There's nothing better than when you're sitting there watching a movie, it's all mixed in, and you get a handful of popcorn, pop it in, and it's just got this like chocolatey goodness in your bite. It's a nice surprise.
Can I make a suggestion then?
Please do.
Throw some Junior Mints in next time.
No, that just sounds wrong.
No, I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
I don't know that I can do that.
I'm telling you. It's where it's at. It's where it's at.
All right, I'll try it.
While we're talking about trailers, let's talk about the Joker trailer. The final trailer for Joker just came out. And I am fascinated by this movie. I think this movie looks absolutely amazing. It looks disturbing and it looks absolutely horrific on so many different levels. But the more that I watch these trailers for Joker, the more that I want to see it. And I just saw that they actually had a premiere at the Venice Film Festival. Joker got an 8-minute standing ovation.
What? 8 minutes?
8 minutes. People clapped for 8 minutes. Nobody does anything for 8 minutes anymore.
No.
And these people clapped for 8 minutes during the credits. They're saying that Joaquin Phoenix is going to get all sorts of nominations for awards. They're saying this is like one of the best movies ever in the history of like movie making. I'm excited to see this. But you look at this trailer, it just disturbs me like down deep. There's something not right with this. And
at first you get this feeling of kind of sadness and you feel bad for him.
Yes.
I mean, immediately right off the bat, you have him making faces at this little kid, and the kid's mom just turns around and is just like, "Will you stop bothering my kid?" It's just like the kid's having fun. Like, he's just making faces at it. It's not a big deal.
Kids are laughing.
You just want to, yell at the lady. And he's just like, sorry, and like kind of gets choked up for a second. And then, you see kind of his disability side and the things he's going through and how he's trying to, better himself, and he's going to these meetings, but they're turning him away at this point.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how he tells his I'm assuming his therapist that he has dark thoughts all the time.
Yeah, it's not just, my day at work was great. So what? I'm sitting here still having all these horrible thoughts inside my head, though.
Yeah.
And she's just trying to turn him away, and it's just like, you haven't done anything for me.
Yeah.
You haven't asked the right questions.
Yeah. He sits there and he criticizes her, which probably rightfully so.
Yeah.
I think it's something that just, it doesn't sit well with me, but that's part of, I think, why I want to see it so badly. And I was very much on the fence about this movie. It's a movie that I don't think needed to be made. I don't need to know the origin of the Joker. I like not knowing who the Joker is. But that being said, this just looks like a good movie.
It's intriguing.
Very.
At the very least. Like, I mean, the acting is just so well done. And, I mean, Do you think he'll do better at Joker than Heath Ledger?
That's a tough question.
I think that's going to be the question going out of this movie.
It will. I mean, Heath Ledger won an Academy Award.
Is it up to par with that standard?
Yeah. I mean, we've got Heath Ledger winning an Academy Award for it, and now we've got Joaquin Phoenix, who's gonna up the ante. Maybe is he gonna raise the bar? Is this gonna be the Joker that the comics are gonna try and base everything off of for the next few years, kind of like they did in the comics after The Dark Knight came out? I mean, it's very likely. I think if the movie does really well, we're going to see a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of it.
But you know what? No one can beat Jared Leto's Joker.
Oh.
No?
No. No.
So terrible.
I had some bad Mexican food the other day. And that was a better Joker.
Oh my gosh.
What happened to me was a better Joker than Jared Leto's Joker. I'm just gonna leave that there. Just gonna leave that out there.
Oh, I love it.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. It was good food though. Really good food.
I'm glad it was good at least.
Yeah, it was so tasty. Something did not sit well though.
But yeah, so we get into the second part of the trailer, and we start seeing him becoming Joker.
Yes,
and putting on the iconic paint, and paints his tongue at one point, and I'm just like, what? That sounds like a terrible idea. But I mean, it's very Joker-esque as well.
Oh, is that erotic? I mean, I don't know. Is that?
Yeah. And who's this girl he's making out with?
I think that's his neighbor. It's what's her name? Zazie Beetz? Is that how you say her name? Zazie Beetz?
I don't know.
She was in Deadpool 2. She played Domino.
Oh yeah.
So if she looks familiar, that's why. She's a great actress.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, we see all these Jokers running around the city with masks. We see him take a punch to the face, and then when he's about to be brought onto stage, he asks one of the guys to call him Joker as he comes out.
Yeah, he asked Robert De Niro's character to call him Joker, which that's kind of cool. Okay, yeah, let's refer to him as the iconic villain. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, Robert De Niro's character was making fun of him in an earlier scene, so you can only imagine what's going to happen to him after Joker does get on stage.
Yeah, I imagine there's gonna be some violence.
That's gonna be good. It's not gonna be a good welcome.
Yeah, there's gonna be some violence up in there. And I've heard that the violence in this is very shocking. It's designed to be very shocking. And they did a great job at making it very shocking. So, good for them. That kind of violence, though, typically when I'm watching a movie or a TV show that has that shocking violence that's there to be shocking, it doesn't sit well with me usually. I can sit through the Expendables, just that over-the-top violence all day long. An 80s movie, over-the-top violence all day long. Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Van Damme, it doesn't matter. It's just fun. It's just so over the top that it's ridiculous. The stuff that I have a feeling this movie is full of, that's realistic, that's, graphic, that's real, I really struggle with. And again, that's another thing. I get that sense of foreboding with this movie, but yet I'm so intrigued by it. They're doing a good job marketing this, I think. I'm interested to see how they actually market it on TV with commercials and things once we start getting closer to the release date of October 4th. Because yeah, it's there's a lot there. I have very mixed feelings about this, but yet I really think I want to see it badly.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be one of those movies that you kind of have to see.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's one that you're just going to have to see. And hopefully it's not one that has like the violence causing people to vomit in the theater and things like that. Because we don't need that. Nobody needs that.
No.
Although, well, you know, they would probably rather me throw candy at the movie screen as opposed to having people vomit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of absolute horribleness, while we're talking about vomiting, let's talk tech. So, hackers, iOS has apparently been vomiting information to people.
For the last 2 years.
Yeah, for the last 2 years. It's a big deal. And I thought that this was interesting because so many people assume that because they have an Apple device, that they're immune from being hacked. They look at it and they say, oh, well, you know, I've got the latest iOS. It never gets hacked and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it does. It really does. There were 14 different vulnerabilities found in iOS that mostly were unpatched zero-day exploits. And in a 2-year campaign, hackers managed to steal photos, emails, login credentials, and even more than that from iPhones and iPads. And this is all coming from Google's Project Zero. Now, you may remember Google's Project Zero is Google's, I guess they're good guys who, if they find something that has been left vulnerable, they'll give you 30 days or whatever to disclose it and fix it. And they found this, and I haven't heard anything about, oh, well, we gave them 30 days, but...
Yeah, no, everything's been, let's see here. Google Researchers actually reported it to Apple on February 1st with a 7-day deadline.
So, yeah, there was no 30 days there on that one. But,
No.
I mean, when you look at this, though, this is a big deal. They're saying that it actually is not even able to put a value on this in terms of money.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it had itself embedded into some pretty crazy apps.
Yeah.
It was embedded into Outlook. It was embedded into Gmail, WhatsApp, Skype, Facebook, like all these apps, even before they're able to even get into encryption. I mean, everything was unencrypted at that point.
Yeah, and they weren't targeting just specific users. They were looking at everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Now, once you reboot your phone, the malware that got installed would be wiped. But how often do you reboot your phone? I don't reboot my phone every day. I don't reboot my phone every, 3 to 4 hours. I may reboot my phone every 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
So it could be that they had access to these phones for a long time, which of course gives them other opportunities to gain additional access to their phones and to passwords and to everything else. This is a big, big deal. So this is a really big deal. And the interesting thing about this is this should have been something so simple for them to fix.
Yeah, and they don't even say that there's any way that you could know that you're affected by this.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about that, reformat your phone, re-download your apps, do not restore from iCloud backups, and you should be good.
Yeah. It's crazy, though, because this is going to completely change how hackers perceive iOS and iOS hacking.
Yep.
We've seen in the past where iOS hacks go for millions of dollars on the black market. And now it's crazy. And then we've got one more kind of a PSA for you. Not a lot to go into on this one, but if you are a Foxit PDF user, if you have ever signed up for an account there on their website, downloading the application is free. You don't need to sign up for anything. But if you've signed in to their website, created accounts on their website, there's about 550 million of you who have done this. I don't imagine that you're all listening to the show.
Luckily, no credit card information or other payment types were taken. It's strictly just personal information, usernames, email addresses, company names, and then passwords. So
yep.
Your password's probably leaked on the internet. Probably should update all your passwords if you use the same password for everything.
Yeah, another data breach out there. Surprisingly, I was not affected.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I did not get affected by either of the hacks that we talked about tonight.
So proud of you.
I'm very proud of myself.
Moving on up in the world.
I am. I'm able to avoid being hacked. So yeah, that's a good thing. But yeah, if you got affected by that, let us know. I'm curious. And what are your thoughts on the Rise of Skywalker footage and Joker trailers? I want to know that too. Send us your feedback at Stolendroids.com. No, that didn't work. Send us your thoughts to feedback@Stolendroids.com.
There you go.
That sounds better. That sounds better. It's late. It's like 3 a.m. here.
A little bit.
Yeah. Send us your thoughts and let us know you can also hit us up on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also on MeWe.
Oh, yeah.
At Stolendroids. Yeah, that's a thing.
The front of the new social media.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to promote that we're on MeWe, but we are there, and we do have stuff being posted.
Yeah. Remember to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It seems to be one of the only places you can leave reviews now these days. So
yeah, I think maybe Stitcher you can too.
Drop it. Yeah, I think so.
Maybe Stitcher.
And we'll see you guys next week.
So yeah, thanks.
Party on.
Thanks for checking out the show. Oh, and by the way, check out Collin and the Movies That Make Us guys over at FanX this weekend.
Yeah, I've
Salt
got
Palace
3 panels.
Convention Center.
I think Val has 9, and Jake and Tracy, I think, each have 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, check us out. Download the app. You'll find us.
Yep.
Come say hi.
They are easy to find. Come say hi, and if you want to engage in Twitter wars or whatever with Collin, that's all good too. So, but we'll be back next week with another episode, and until then, be good to each other.
Hasta luego.
This has been a Stolendroids Media production.